don't know what the password is.
Okay, so welcome to you all to tonight's Community and Place Committee. It's an extraordinary meeting tonight with just one item on the agenda. So hopefully we'll be able to whiz through this reasonably quickly. So before we do so, have we had any apologies on the?
I've received apologies.
Yeah, no, I'll let you know. I think I had the same. Nobody's heard anything from Liam. No, there's been nothing on the thing. Okay, thank you. Any declarations of interest on the forthcoming agenda item? Turning next to agenda item 3, the minutes. So we are being asked to approve and sign as a correct record the minutes of the previous Community and Place meeting held on the 25th of March 2020. That's your Ennis.
There's just one thing on the minutes, just being really anal. On page 42, this was under the park hire for the fun fair, where we declined the hire of French Queer, but point 2, it says to note the organiser proposed measures sufficiently address previous concerns. I think it was the point was we didn't feel that nothing they could do could address the wider concerns. So I just think that maybe could be amended, otherwise it just reads weirdly anyway. It's like we turned it down, even though we noted that the organiser could address everything, but the point was it was beyond their power to address certain issues. It's like not they weren't trying to do X, Y, Z. It was more that nothing that they could do would ameliorate the ASB. So that just needs a bit of a rewording. So they're really anal.
Yeah, I think it just says we've noted the organisers' proposed measures. Yeah. Sufficiently address previous concerns. We've noted them, but obviously we don't.
It doesn't make sense that anyway. That sentence, just like we could just note the. Just find a way of rewording it to reflect what we actually.
Yeah, we could just say that we've noted the organisers' proposed measures, and then leave the rest of it out. Does that sound?
Yeah, we get a vote for that, and then we can make that amendment.
Okay, so can I have a proposer then that that we just shorten that resolution to note the organiser proposed measures? A seconder, Councillor Ellis. All in favour? Councillor Strauss in favour? All carried. Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Ellis. Any other questions on the minutes? Sign those later. So just we're being asked to note the forward plan. There's just obviously a couple of things have gone on it, because obviously it's only been a couple of weeks since we had the last Community and Place meeting. So we've just got the football counters, the Taunton Visitor Centre, and the Remembrance Service tender, which is ongoing, isn't it, Joe? Councillor Ennis.
Yeah, no, it was just so to my knowledge, is it the 27th of May, the next Community and Place?
No. Yeah, it's not obsolescence.
No, that's the 20th.
They're quite close together.
Quite close together. One's on a Thursday. Yeah.
That's right.
One's on a Tuesday.
27th. So the big me and Councillor Strauss will have to send our apologies to them. Mind you, having said that, is it still the same membership?
We don't know, do we, at the minute? It's so ops and assets is on the 29th, so it's on the 27th, Tuesday the 27th.
This is leading into a point about the Ward Member Initiative Scheme, so it'd be useful to send around something reminding people what the deadline for, if you want it to go on the agenda for May the 27th, when do people need to get their application thingamidongs in? And in relation to that, there were a number of items that we looked at Grants Committee on Monday night, the Mega One 4-hour job, and they were applications which were great, absolutely amazing projects, but very ward specific, and with agreement, sort of semi-agreement from the relevant ward member, it was turning down certain grant applications for the grants process on the basis that they would be picked up by ward members and taken through the ward member initiative scheme. But I'm just very conscious, because they were great projects and they may be time sensitive. So we need to somebody just needs to gently remind people, well, there's this project. A lot of the information will already be on the system somewhere. It can just be copied and pasted. But just to make sure that nothing falls between the cracks where you've got those projects, which we've got all that information. We just need to make sure we might as well, whack as many through on May the 27th as we can.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Just to sort of come into that, I think somewhere, and Craig may be thinking about the same things, I think there has to be some sort of coordination then between Will from the grants committee, stuff that's come through that has been turned down because it could qualify for the ward initiative scheme, to then to be relayed to either Craig or to Tilly, so that all members know. Because otherwise, things come up the grants committee, and I wouldn't have known if he hadn't have brought it up. I don't think, if things have been turned down because there's the ward initiative scheme. I think that is highlighting. You made a note, Craig, somewhere. But I've made a note. I've made a note. So yeah.
Yeah, and I was just going to echo that. Happy to drop Will a message, an email in the morning, and ask him to just kind of pick up that action, or just give us an update on what the proposed method of contacting them is.
Thank you. Councillor Strauss.
Thank you, Chair. I've just managed to download the agenda from the calendar rather than decisions, and in the update from chairs of working groups, there are a number of spelling mistakes in the report I gave, names spelt wrong and so on. So how do you want me to tackle that? Want to mention it now, or should I?
Which part is that?
This is update from chairs of working groups. You came under the minutes.
Oh, okay. So is it in the minutes, the updates of chairs of working groups? So which?
Yeah, it's 6/3/25.
Yeah.
First of all, my name's spelled surname with one S, and it's sometimes one and sometimes two.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be Mission Chef, it should be Michelin Chef, MICHELIN. That's in the third paragraph. Councillor Strauss was delighted to inform that star Michelin Chef, and it's Michael Keynes, CAINES, not a K, in two places.
Yeah, got it.
Just for the record.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you,
I'm sorry it's so late.
no, don't worry. Thank you, Councillor Strauss. Everybody else, are we all happy with the minutes? Before we.
I think we've already voted for them, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah.
Just going back again. It takes us to go back to the minutes again.
Yes, technology. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Councillor Ellis, for that as well. Thank you, Craig, for that. I've made a little note as well. Any other things on the forward plan before we move on? Right, scrolling through. So I gave an update sort of to a couple of weeks ago for the last community in place, and I don't think there's been too much movement. I think since that, I think with sort of thing. So I will pass on that so that we can actually sort of proceed with the item on here. Anything on the chairs of working groups? Anything very brief to bring?
Just very briefly, yes, I had a meeting of the public transport group at which David Northey attended, and we are moving forward with the suggestion. You were there, Craig, weren't you? We are moving forward with a suggestion that we work more closely with Somerset Bus Partnership, but that we would still take the lead. I think that was the conclusion of the meeting. But it would be, we're looking at setting up a joint organisation, not to duplicate efforts, to meet maybe once a quarter to update the issues in the town and how maybe we could write. It's not going to cost us any money. It's a question whether a letter from Taunton Town Council might help a particular issue. I've also noticed there's been a lot of correspondence on WhatsApp concerning bus shelters, and that has involved Tom. But I think that's more Tom and Somerset Council, but it does impinge on Taunton. It's all about
So, thank you.
cleaning bus shelters.
Yeah, I saw somebody cleaning one. Sunday morning, there was a chap cleaning the bus shelter.
Yeah.
Just outside the cemetery on Wellington New Road, and I almost sort of said,
Yes.
agree with it, but I'm just guessing there are teams of people that go around cleaning them.
I mean, basically, Caroline, I'm right, aren't I? It's Somerset Council's primary responsibility. But the thinking was, if they're not doing it because they haven't got the money, the suggestion was maybe we could help. I think that was what was going on, but I wasn't directly involved in that conversation.
Oh, well, I've seen somebody cleaning, so
That's
they
good.
must be doing some of them. Oh, and
Yeah.
it looked quite, got a whole plethora of cleaning equipment. So I sort of thought it's probably not a volunteer.
There was also, it's quite interesting, some photographs that David Northey had taken of bus shelters that have been made redundant. Sometimes he said decades ago that are still there, that maybe could be relocated to areas where they would be useful. So that was something else that was being looked into. And as I say, it didn't involve me directly. I'm merely picking up what I've read in the report today.
Thank you for that. Excuse me, anything from the arts and culture stuff? Councillor Ellis?
Well, me and the lead mayor, Councillor Garside, have had a bit of our heads together about the culture development budget. And we were talking along the lines of implementing the pledge in the arts and culture strategy, which was around core funding, for saying that we have a local portfolio of key arts and cultural organisations that are absolutely fundamental, parts of our ecosystem. And to some extent, the venue grant has provided a means of recognising the ones that the key organisations that are linked to venues, so the Brew House, Taunton Museum of Somerset, and Kick Egg. But the ones that the organisations that do not have venues or not tied to venue, they operate their own venue, are still having a sort of hand-to-mouth existence, continually either applying to grants to us and various other things, and we haven't quite managed to get them on that secure footing where they're able to spend more time actually planning ahead and delivering against the culture strategy rather than faffing about doing endless applications for tiny amounts of money. So we are putting together a proposal on that. It's just, where do we take it first? Do we bring it here, do you think, and then on to full council? So maybe for May
Has to come here.
So we'll try and get that in a state that it could come. I mean, we could do it as a recommendation from us, something really, so I can write a report. Quite happy to do that. There's a couple of other things that we're looking at as well, but I'll maybe say more about those at a later date.
Councillor Strauss.
On this particular topic, I did say, Chair, at the grants meeting that I was concerned that the link, which is in my ward, which is the community centre, had severe financial difficulties, and that we were expecting contact from them. Amber said that as we hadn't actually had contact with them so far, she didn't want to discuss it. But I was very pleased that the money that had been asked for by Hampton Baptist Church for the priority this year, the £10,000, for the most important repairs, we actually voted through grants committee. Now, since that meeting, only yesterday, I have had an email from one of the trustees of the link wanting to talk to me urgently. And he's the solicitor who is keen to share with me what their issues are. I've been in touch with Councillor Tully, who's now back from holiday, and we are pursuing this, but we may expect an application from them for quite a lot of money. They are in serious trouble.
So, well, some of that come under the the Ward Initiative Scheme, perhaps.
Certainly.
Yeah.
In the short term, we hope, but at the moment, I don't know what we want. So it's hard to be precise about it, which is why I couldn't give any detail at the grants committee meeting yesterday.
Thank you. Thanks for that. Councillor Elliott.
Just as a point of information, we spent all of the venue court
Yeah.
money on Monday. So
We
it's
did.
great that we were able to support the Baptist Church, that's a key, and Priors Wood Community Centre. So yeah, I think in the short term anyway, if
Yeah.
Link can be supported through Ward member, but yeah, but you'll have to report back if there's more
I will.
bigger, wider, deeper
I will.
financial doodles.
And there might
Yeah.
be something that Will, the grants officer, can perhaps assist with if he knows it. Once you know.
Well, I'm on top of it. I'm liaising closely with Ray. We're speaking with one mind on this. What we're pressing them for is hard information of what they require. Then I'll take it forward.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. So, moving on to agenda item 7 and the VE Day celebrations report. So, excuse me, we're being asked to consider and approve the event plan for VE Day 80 on Thursday, the 8th of May. And for us as members to give delegated powers to the community and place manager for up to, and we're going to discuss, it's £1,000 in here, but we will discuss it after we've had the report of increasing that amount to make sure that it covered everything that's likely to come up with this. So I'd like to hand over to Jo. Thank you.
As you will have read in the report, we're working collaboratively with Taunton branch of the Royal British Legion, Taunton Minster and Somerset Council to host a range of commemorative events on VE Day, which is Thursday the 8th of May. So we'll be holding a flag raising at County Hall at 9 o'clock on the morning. We will be following up with a wreath placing at the War Memorial in Widebury Park at 5:30, followed by a service of celebration and thanksgiving at Taunton Minster at 6:30. So what we're seeking funds for are to just cover the incidental costs around holding the service in the Minster, to hire the space, to have an organist, have order of services, all the bits and pieces that go with that. It's difficult to put an exact figure on it because until I get numbers and RSVPs, there are some costs that might vary, which is why we're suggesting we have a safety net of £1,500. We don't anticipate it will cost that much, but to save us going back and forth with further requests for funding in a short space of time, it seems a sensible approach. If you have any questions, I'm happy to try and answer.
Thank you, Jo. And I think the report that everybody got the report from, because Ollie circulated it via email earlier. It's quite a lengthy document. It's not quite as long as the remembrance event, is it?
It's not as complex. It doesn't have any traffic management. We have no road closures. It's quite a simple 3 separate little services. So
I think it covers the most things, isn't it? So like first aid cover, potential risk assessments and so on and so forth. So it's just dotting the I's and crossing the T's. And you know, I would be more than happy to support this. Craig.
Thanks, Chair. And just to add, obviously, we've seen that the Union Jack bunting has been erected in the town centre in support of this
Been noted.
VE Day and VJ Day on the 15th of August.
yes.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Thanks. Any questions for Jo? That's right.
No, we know Jo will do an awesome job on all of the sort of civic aspects of it, and yeah, I'm absolutely happy to sign up whatever is Jo needs.
Thank you.
Question? No. So Councillor Strauss.
Oh, sorry. Later this month is St George's Day. Are we going to put St George's bunting up, or is it too much of a hassle to take down the Union Jacks?
That would be a further council decision. If we don't have the bunting, so we need to commission the bunting and commission the work to put it, take down existing, put St George's up and then switch it all back again for VJ. So that would need to be a further.
Yeah. Yeah. And also just a flag outside the town hall. be helpful outside our building, yeah.
We can look to procure one. I don't believe we have one, but we can look to procure one.
I'm thinking of Adrian as well, because he organises the scouts on that day. There will be a parade through the town. Just a thought, 23rd, I should be away.
Just to also remind you, we can change the colours of the market house. So for a particular special occasion, we could turn it to be white, red. So
23rd of this month.
That's good. Yeah.
cool, thank you.
So we need to just slightly amend the resolution, the second point. So the first, we'll take 2 points. So the first point is members to consider and approve the event plan for VE Day 80 on Thursday, the 8th of May. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Strauss, and a seconder? Councillor O'Donnell. You can, thank you. And then the second part, can we need to vote to change the amount, to increase it, to make an amendment. So do we have to vote to make the amendment first? Or, yeah. So we're proposing to amend the second resolution. So can I have a proposal that, thank you, Councillor Ellis, and a seconder? Councillor O'Donnell, so yes, carried. Okay, and now we're going to vote to increase the amount from £1,000 to £1,500 for the event. So the resolution will now read: members to give delegated powers to the community and place manager for up to £1,500 for the event. Can I have a proposer? Councillor Ellis and seconder Councillor Strauss. All those in favour? Carried. In. I think that's it. That was it. Thank you very, very much.